You will hear people talking in 10 different situations. For questions 1 to 10, choose the best answer, A, B, C or D. Question 1, you overhear a young man talking about his first job. How did he feel in his first job?
I didn't want to go to university, so when I finished school, I went and got a job. My parents said if I was in full-time education, they'd give me an allowance, but if not, I'd have to work. So, I got a job in a big store in the menswear department. Actually, I think I had to go out and find out what I could do because in school I wasn't particularly brilliant. So, when it came to doing work, I think I had to prove a lot of people wrong. So I really felt like doing it, even though it was just selling socks in Harrods.
Question 2, you hear a radio announcement about a dance company. What are the listeners being invited to?
The Hilton Dance Company have been at the Camden Theatre for almost a month now, offering us a wonderful program of mainly modern dances. The company have just celebrated their 20th year of performances all over the world. But this week, they'll be taking a break from dancing to give us an idea of how a dance company works. Top dancer and company manager Lisa West will be in the theater, telling us about the company's work. But all the dancers will be there too, so it's also your opportunity for a get-together. And of course, you don't need to have any experience of dance for this.
Question 3, you hear some information about a country on a travel program. Where do most people spend the summer months?
In the main summer months, the weather in the capital city is hot, and the humidity is terrible. If you're there then, the best thing to do is either sit in a pool all day or surround yourself with air conditioning. You could, however, head higher where it's cooler. The Citra Mountains behind the northeast coast have stunning scenery, but the majority never seem to make the effort to get out of the capital, which is a pity, because the coast and the mountains are much pleasanter.
Question 4, you hear a woman talking on the radio about her work making wildlife films. What is her main point?
The research for a major wildlife TV series can take up to a year, followed by about 2 years filming with 4 or 5 camera teams around the world at any one time. Finding the right stories to film is only half the job. The other half is finding the right location and then going out to help the camera person film it. Well, this can be difficult. You have to make sure you're in the right place at the right time, so good planning is essential. We spend a lot of time on the phone beforehand getting advice from local experts.
Question 5, you hear part of a travel program on the radio. Where is the speaker?
This is the most beautiful place I've ever visited. And believe me, in my career as a travel writer, I've seen some fabulous scenes. From the deck of this small sailing boat, I have a wonderful view out over a short expanse of sparkling blue water, to the white houses of the village on the left, and then to the wooded hillsides behind, which climb up to the snow-covered mountain peaks surrounding this lovely valley. By the water's edge, people are sitting in the late evening sun, enjoying a leisurely meal of fresh fish, caught in these waters only a few hours ago. It's heaven.
Question 6, you overhear a woman talking about a table tennis table in a sports shop. What does she want the shop assistant to do about her table tennis table?
Giving me my money back isn't the point. My son needs to practice for an important match, but at the moment his table is lying in bits on the floor. When I bought it, I was assured that it would only take a matter of moments to screw the different parts in place, but the instructions don't make sense. Since I paid so much for it, I think it's only fair to ask for some hands-on help from you in getting it into a usable state. My son is impatient for a game on his new table.
Question 7. You hear a woman speaking on the radio about buying a painting for the first time. What opinion is she expressing?
The first rule about buying a painting is to immediately put aside any notion that this will make you enough money to keep you in your old age. The overriding factor is that you must really like the work itself. Ask yourself, can you imagine it on the wall next to the TV? Are you happy to have this painting as a fixture in your life? With this in mind, you can now set about looking into the art market. You should do your homework. Fine-tune your taste. Visit a student exhibition. Flick through some contemporary art magazines.
Question 8. You hear a man talking on the radio. Who is talking?
This is a really delicious part. Plenty to get your teeth into, some very good speeches, a lot of change of mood. There's lots for the audience to identify with too, so it all goes to make my job more rewarding. The fact that this is a revival means I also have the challenge of putting my own stamp on a role. The original performance, by the man who created the part some 20 years ago, will still be in the mind of some members of the audience. I couldn't ask for more.
Question 9. You hear a restaurant manager talking about the cooks who work with him. What does he say about them?
As restaurant manager, I feel responsible for the quality of the food we serve, so it's up to me to check the ingredients that have been delivered overnight to make sure they are of sufficient quality and to produce a menu for the day. The cooks arrive at about 10 a.m. to prepare lunch, and I'll take them through the menu. Because lunch is concentrated over a short period of time, it can get very busy and very hot. But unlike some kitchens, we tend to divide the jobs up according to who likes doing what, and that includes cleaning pots and pans and clearing the place before dinner.
Question 10. You hear part of a radio interview. Who is speaking?
We get people to the taxis, that's the first priority, and to the trains. We make sure they get on early and get comfortable seats. These days, many passengers have a lot of luggage